Okay, we're back with Doctor Who Revisited. Today, it's Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways, the Series 1 finale. So this was big because this was the first finale of revived Doctor Who. This had to be big. I think it delivered. I think it worked. I think it's one of the best finales of New Who. Not the best. Definitely not the best. But it's up there, I think.
I disagree.
Really? You disagree with that?
All right, no, it has some very good aspects to it, and it's good, it's very good. Um, but I think it's not one of the best. It's I think rather low on my list, at least
Of
now.
finales?
But of finales, I think it's a very good two-parter and two very good episodes overall.
Okay, so let's start off with talking about the first part, Bad Wolf. I know this is generally considered the weaker half of the story, which I guess I couldn't agree with, but only by a very slim margin. I still really like the first part of this. I really like the game show parodies. I just think it's really entertaining. I like that a lot. And I love the reveal of how the games really work. And just like the Doctor and Rose being so shocked and confused and just horrified by it. It's and I mean, I know it's weird to say it's fun to see them be so horrified, but it is like fun to see how shocked they are and stuff every time. You know? And I just love the concept of that, having the whole world sits around and watches these shows of these people like being killed in these game shows, but at the same time, any one of those people watching it at any second could be chosen, and now they're the people that they've been watching instantly like that. I really like that concept.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get this out of the way. TV, as we know it, is evolving. Shows and big TV executives are starting to do crazy things for views. And death is a clever way to portray how people will even kill for their own greed. And I think that's a very interesting topic that they kind of go into in this first half of the two-parter.
Okay, so Linda with a Y. Let's talk about Linda with a Y.
Oh, she's my favorite.
The whole side cast for this episode is very good. It's not huge,
Yeah.
which is good. They have a few really good characters. Linda with a Y, and then those two from that work at the game station.
And I think each of the mini companions, I would consider Linda a mini companion, at least, and like Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
I think they were used just the right amount, not too much. They were all killed off at a good time. Very enjoyable characters.
I think Doctor Who's side characters work the best when they pick just like a couple of them and they really focus in on making those characters work. When you have really big side casts, none of the characters feel particularly strong. So I like it when they just have a very small group of characters that they can really focus in on. Rose's death, in quotations, was handled really well, I thought. Eccleston's reaction was perfect. Like, you just silent, you just see the expression on his face of just devastation. Just that's exactly how the Doctor would react in that situation. Obviously, it's very short-lived, and then she's back again. But I just wanted to mention that because I really like that scene and that moment in Eccleston's, like, his portrayal of being so upset like that. And then at the end, the reveal of the Daleks was done very well once again. Because, you get the hints, you can see, like, out of its eye stalk, so you pretty much know by then. And then you get the reflection, and then you get to see the Doctor's reaction when all those ships show up and the Dalek theme plays. It's done very well.
Yes. I will say, I kind of wish they tied in the Dalek with the Daleks in this. Because I know they, mentioned something, but I wish there was more tie-in to what happened.
What do you mean by that?
They seem very disconnected, in my opinion, from what happened there to what happened here. I wish what happened in Dalek had an impact on what's happening here. That this was caused by something that Dalek did.
But anyway, I just love that entire cliffhanger with the Doctor just saying no. That's great. So I guess we can kind of move on to the Parting of the Ways, because I guess that's kind of when most of the real action happens. Bad Wolf's more of a setup thing, which, is the case in two-part stories. So the Parting of the Ways had big stakes, for sure. I don't really like how they added the Daleks, attacking the planet. There's the scene when Linda with a Y's there and is like, they're bombing whole continents or whatever. That really annoys me because I really like the idea of this just being a threat that is just contained in this space station. It's not like a global threat like all the other Davies finales. It feels more realistic. It does, because like when you have 3, and if you include this one, 4 series in a row where the world's being threatened in the finale, it just makes it feel like we're doing this again. It's the
Yeah.
the entire planet's being threatened. You have the Daleks in this one, which I guess it's in the future, which is different. But then you have Cybermen and Daleks in Series 2, and then the Master and all his little circle ball things, and then you have the Daleks again in Series 4. It's like, are we really going to believe that people of Earth have gone through 4 alien invasions, like, covering the entire planet in 4 years,
Yeah,
and then they're still going to be shocked when they see an alien? Like, I don't know. So I really wish they wouldn't have added that in this one, which is, I didn't realize that they did that, because one of my favorite things about this was how self-contained it was. Still, like, big stakes, like I said, but contained inside the space station. Turns out it's not as much the case as I thought.
Alright, something I want to talk about is Captain Jack. We haven't discussed him yet, but Captain Jack, when I watched this series when I was like 7 or 8, and Captain Jack was just like the coolest person. He was like an action hero, ninja, cool guy, hybrid that I wanted to be like. So when he said his goodbye to Rose and the doctor, that like broke my heart. I was so sad. I was so upset that the doctor left Jack on that planet. Like, I guess he thought he was dead, but how dare he?
The scene where the doctor sends Rose back to her home, was done so well. Because you watch and you believe, like, oh, the doctor's come up with something, and then you're like, oh no, he tricked her and is sending her back home, and she's so upset by that, which, kind of similar to her departure in Doomsday. You can draw some parallels there. But yeah, that was a really well done scene.
Alright, so speaking of that scene, the doctor's message, that was brutal. That was terrible. It was, you just like leave the TARDIS to die. I was like, those can't just leave it there to die. I had so many questions as a little person.
Alright, so the scene where the doctor has to make the decision to destroy the entire planet of Earth or let the Daleks, live and continue to do their Dalek-y stuff. And I think it's really cool because he kind of gets a second chance at making the same decision he had to make in the Time War. But this time, he gets it right. He doesn't commit genocide. And then that ends up working out for him. The day is saved anyway, which I think is really cool that they did that, because then you get to the day of the doctor. You can tell that by that time the doctor knows, like, because he's had that second thing, which again, that was so close, so recent after what he did in the Time War at that point. So then, by that time the doctor knew that committing genocide probably isn't the best thing to do. he made the right decision this time, which I think is cool.
On like kind of a different topic, the title of this episode, The Parting of the Ways, doesn't work for me. I don't think it's a good title.
The Parting of the Ways, if you think about it in terms of the 9th Doctor and Rose, they part at the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
The different incarnation of the Doctor. If you think Doctor sending Rose home in the middle of the episode, Parting of the Ways, you think parting with Captain Jack. People part. People's ways are parted.
Yeah, no, people's ways definitely parted. But I think a better name would be like the Battle of something something.
No.
Alright, that was cheesy, okay? But something like that.
So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the resolution. It's kind of the definition of Deus Ex Machina. Like, Rose just shows out of nowhere with superpowers and makes all the Daleks disintegrate, which is a little disappointing. Like, it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's just like that. So that's probably one of my major criticisms. At the same time, it kind of works with, like, the whole payoff of the bad wolf and, like, her sending the words back through time. But yeah, I really don't like the fact that there's all this build-up and then she just turns up with superpowers and disintegrates everyone.
Alright, let's talk about when Rose actually goes back to Earth. So Jackie in this episode, I just didn't like. She was like, forget about the doctor, let him die.
I mean, I think is a really natural thing for that character to feel. You know, it's her daughter, and she was very worried about Rose being in danger on these trips that she goes on, and then knowing that the doctor sent Rose back home when he knew that it was too dangerous. I think that's good because that kind of sets up a more trustworthy relationship between those two going into like the next series and stuff. And then the scene where they're talking about Rose's dad, and then she storms off and comes back with the big yellow truck, like that. So probably the biggest, the part that's going to be looked back upon is the regeneration of Christopher Eccleston, which was the first of modern Doctor Who, had to reintroduce the concept to a new audience. I think it was handled perfectly. It didn't overplay it, just gave the perfect amount of explanation, and it didn't bombard you with emotion like some of the later generations do. It just gave you just enough of an emotional punch when he says, "So was I." Just perfect. It's not like with David Tennant's Regeneration or Matt Smith's Regeneration, where it's just like really emotional the whole time. It's this is they kind of like engineer it and mess with it and shape it so that it builds up and they just get a punch of emotion with that line.
Agreed. I thought that was good. No, now that you say it, I do think the emotions we got were good. I think they were perfectly sized. They didn't try to throw the whole, I don't want to
Because
go on you.
there wasn't really enough time with this doctor
Yeah.
for you to be able to do something like that, which is why it's perfect what they ended up giving us.
Now that you bring that up, I think that, I mean, I know this happened by chance and Christopher Eccleston just didn't want to be the doctor anymore, but I think it was kind of cool how in the first season we got a regeneration. That kind of hooked a lot of younger audiences, but made a lot of older audiences still be like, wow, that's my Doctor Who. That's my
I really do
show.
think that ended up working really well. Because if there's ever a time to give a doctor one season and then he regenerates, it's that first season of the revival when people are still trying to get back into Doctor Who and like what it is and all that stuff, and then reintroducing the regeneration right there to get people on board with it going into the rest of the show. I think it ended up working really well that happened when it did. Okay, so rating out of 10 then. You go first.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Yeah. So if you have been paying attention, I've been getting, for every episode, I've been putting it higher and higher, and I've been doing that on accident. And I'm pretty sure that ends today. I think I have to give it an 8.6.
Alright, for me, I've always thought on a Series 1 ranking it goes Empty Child, Dr. Dance's Dalek, then the 2-part finale. But I think I like this finale more than Dalek. I gave Dalek an 8. So I'll give this an 8.5. Okay, so that's our review of Bad Wolf and the Parting of the Ways Series 1 finale. Alright, so let's go over to Gerald and see what we'll be reviewing next time. Okay, we're here with Gerald.
This is the scariest part.
Just reviewed the Series 1 finale. Here we go. Kernan's really hoping for a David Tennant episode. Haven't had one yet. I really want to pick Heaven Sent. That's my goal. Kernan's never been that big of a fan of that episode. It's probably my favorite episode of the entire show, just saying. Alright, here we go. Okay, I got it then. Alright, I'm gonna look at it. Alright, it's an episode. It's good. Series 10. It is Knock Knock.